Here's your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, the Franchise Guide.
What does a successful franchisee do on a day-to-day basis? And I suited for that role. Does that sound attractive to me?
Right.
Rather than focusing on the actual product or service of the business.
Yeah, and I think most of us did that. As you mentioned, you were in the same boat, and I'm looking at the exact same thing, and you just get super excited. And I always tell someone, if you want to be in the sandwich business, you can run your business and buy all the sandwiches you want if you're truly passionate about sandwiches. I'm in Jersey Mike's land. I live in the same town, the first Jersey Mike's. Got to meet family and friends that grew up with the founder, and it was really interesting to hear his story. And going back to the widget, you'll notice that a lot of brands, your role is going to be very similar. You're not actually installing the roof or cleaning the porta potty or painting anything in a painting franchise. Start to look, but look at, I kind of do it in two different levels or layers, we'll call it. The first layer is getting the business up and running. You may be wearing all hats to learn the business, get it up and running, but really figuring out 6 to 12 months out, what is that role in the business? The team's in place. You've that learning curve. You learn the business. You understand it, especially if you've never owned the franchise or any business before. What does that role look like 6 to 12 months out? And that'll really help. And that's part of validation, getting to speak with franchisees and hearing directly from the franchise owner exactly what's an average day in a life, maybe when you started to where you are today. And that's super helpful. So not only hearing it from the franchisor, but you're getting to hear it from the franchisee. So a very important part about the widget, because that is an area a lot of people just they get super excited and then they go, okay, what do you have in this specific space? Or maybe it's a misconception, right? Maybe you think you have to have experience. Do you have to have experience in the franchise itself, or is it something else?
It depends on the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, the answer is no. What franchisors are doing is that they've got a business model that they know if people execute that business model effectively, they will be successful. That's the foundational approach of franchising it. And what they've also developed then is a methodology to take someone who doesn't know that business and bring them in a relatively short period of time, train them in how to set up and run that business effectively, so that if the people just follow the system,
Right,
do what the franchisor tells them, they will be successful most all the time. And that's two different skills. First, you have to have the skill to operate the business effectively. And this is the path that most franchisors follow. They maybe open the first 4, 5, 6 units of whatever their business is themselves. They run it very successfully and it's doing well. But then at that point, they realize they need somebody else's money or management experience or something to help grow the business further. So they turn to franchising to do that. Then they have to develop a second skill that's even more important than being able to operate the business effectively. They have to develop a skill to take somebody who doesn't know beans about that business and train them in a fairly short period of time to be able to effectively run it. And those are two different things. Quite often you'll see people who are very successful operators who are not very successful franchisors because of that. And that's another reason that there's a lot less risk in a franchise if they've got a track record and they've proven that they can take people like me and put them in business and make them successful.
I like that. We call it a business on training wheels. That's something when someone they want a comparison, I go, that's really one of the best It's you have that support, and that's what you're really getting in. You want that support, that anything you have any questions, have any issues, that you have that go-to someone to contact to help you out.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn how to make the transition from corporate to owning your franchise, join Giuseppe on the next episode. You can also follow on all social media platforms and achieve financial and time freedom today.